Good morning. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. So glad to have you with us this morning. It is warm and humid out there. We didn't always have a monsoon season. It seems we have one now.
Yeah, I think that this is the new normal, right? Global warming. We've seen the changing patterns of weather, and for the last 3, maybe 4 summers, we've had this kind of humid part of the summer that's kind of interesting. I'm being very polite.
You are. Yeah, I'm not used to it. But of course, West Texas, New Mexico, Arizona has had a monsoon season. It's pretty normal. It's generally in August, end of July, August, and we were in it last summer when we went to Payson, Arizona, and we saw some pretty heavy rains.
Yeah. So we do have to talk about the big news of the moment. They're out, Aaron. All the boys are out.
That's
and the coach,
awesome.
Right?
That's awesome.
It really is. And the more I've heard about this and read about it and watched and stuff, it's really fascinating how they did it. They basically put them in like a blanket that keeps the air in. I'm not doing
like a plastic bag.
Like a plastic bag, yeah. As opposed to trying to give them like a mask or something that they would wear,
which may or may not fit because children are different sizes, and you didn't know what gear to bring, so they brought essentially it's a stretcher in a plastic bag. Right. I mean, it's yes. Essentially what it looks like.
Yeah, and it's just fascinating to me, and they got them all out, And I know initially they were talking, we may have to wait months until the monsoon season goes down, and they were talking all kinds of strange scenarios.
Which would be crazy because there's no food down there.
Yeah, well, yeah, and digging them out and all kinds of other weird things, and I'm just amazed that they were able to do this. The rescuers that were involved all deserve major kudos for their efforts. It's amazing. They all must be exhausted and excited. And of course, they've taken all the boys to the hospital. I think there's a period of time where they're quarantining them, and they have to do a variety of tests.
Certainly, the boys they've experienced the trauma of being down there and the fear of, am I going to get out of here?
Yes.
Thank God there was an adult down there with them, because these are boys, right? And you don't want them to panic or do something stupid and try to swim out of there, because they would most assuredly have drowned if they had tried to.
Right. Yeah, and you're right. I'm so glad nobody did that. I'm sure you get the one kid who's like, I'm a strong swimmer, I can do it.
Right, and of course they wouldn't know that maybe they did know that a Navy SEAL drowned trying to get to them.
Yeah.
Because they were pretty far back there.
Yeah.
And when Thailand has rain, they have rain. They have very, very significant rain. And so, that area was flooded.
Our monsoon season is, it's damp out, and maybe we get a little flash rainstorm. Their monsoon season is 6 months of hard rain.
Exactly. Well, that's why it's such a green, beautiful country.
Yeah.
One of the many places I want to see. Phuket. It's on my bucket list.
Let's do it.
We should go to Phuket.
And we love Thai food. I just want to go on the culinary trip.
I
there's
know.
So many places. I just want to eat their food. You're yes.
We need to get your host brother, your Australian brother, Michael Weatherly, who lived in Thailand, to go with us.
Yes.
To show us all the wonderful things about Thailand.
Yes, but knowing Michael as I do, he would have us eating the hottest of the hot.
And laughing about it?
For him, it's like, that's not that hot. And for us, we're like, oh.
Okay, we're not exactly tender mouths, but I'm sure you're right.
We're not. Well, remember when he visited us, and he made some Thai food for us, and he spiced it really strong.
Yeah, well,
it was good, but it was hot.
It's one of those places where they have really delicious food.
Yes.
So the other big story of the day is President Trump, in true reality television show fashion, announced who got the rose last night.
Yes.
And announced Brett Kavanaugh as his judicial nominee, nominee for the court. And so how do you feel about that, Tobin?
Well, I don't know how to feel yet. I'm just still hearing about this guy. I've been reading about the 4 finalists for a couple of days. I really thought that Trump was going to pick the female. He had of the final 4, one of them was a woman, and I really thought that he would pick her just because we know that abortion is going to be one of the top issues they're going to be talking about, and asking those kinds of pointed questions to a woman takes on a different tenor than asking them to a man. And I thought that he may do that just to make it a little more awkward for the Democrats who want to run as the party of women, you know, if they've got all these images of them, you know, essentially asking demeaning questions to a woman.
Right. Although they've proven time and again that they don't have any problem asking demeaning questions to conservative women.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, let's be real here. When they
Yeah.
talk about women, they mean people who, you know, the progressive women, left of center women.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's just, I just thought he would pick the female candidate just to help expose that even more, you know. But Brett Kavanaugh seems like he's highly qualified, you know.
So he is 53 years old, which, you know, he's a young guy. So if he gets on the court, if he's not, I mean, if he's confirmed, then he'll be there a long time, presumably. He went to Yale Law School. He has served since 2006 on the Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit. He is a graduate of Yale University and Yale Law School, and once clerk for the man he will replace. That's Anthony Kennedy, assuming the Senate confirms him. He will also work in the. He also worked in the White House of George W. Bush and for Kenneth Starr. So
Yeah.
is that a big in your face to Hillary Clinton, who there's rumors that she might run a third time?
Right. Right. And there's a lot of memes online about, you know, how Hillary, you know, the good news is Hillary didn't get to pick this one.
Yes.
You know.
So this is President Trump's quote: "There is no one in America more qualified for this position, and no one more deserving." In his own. Referring to Kavanaugh as a judge's judge. In his own comments, Kavanaugh promised to keep an open mind on every case. He also praised Trump. "No president has ever consulted more widely or talked with more people from more backgrounds to seek input about a Supreme Court nominee." Kavanaugh and his wife, Ashley Estes Kavanaugh, have 2 daughters. And some early takes. The Washington Post says Trump is elevating a conservative stalwart with deep ties to the Republican establishment to succeed retiring Justice Anthony Kennedy and triggering a partisan war over the court's future. Okay, he didn't trigger the war.
No.
Kennedy's retirement triggered the war.
Yeah. And let's be honest, this is probably going to be one of the most
They're going to bork him.
intense. Yeah, this is going to be one of the most intense nomination fights in our lifetime, because, you know, the Republicans and the Democrats are billing this as the heart and soul of the court for the next 50 years.
Can't you hear the ding ding?
Yeah.
Let's get ready to rumble. Can't you hear it?
I can't.
This
It's
is made
on.
by Trump. I mean, this is the P.T. Barnum showmanship. I
Yeah.
can just feel it coming on. So the Wall Street Journal says Kavanaugh is a scion of the Republican legal establishment who has been in the middle of efforts to complete a judicial counter-revolution that has eluded conservatives for decades. The National Review says on what is commonly regarded as the second most important court in the country, he has confronted a vast array of consequential constitutional and statutory issues and has written strong, influential opinions. His positions in numerous dissents were later adopted by Supreme Court majorities. Politico says Kavanaugh was seen as a safe choice for Trump. He has the traditional resume of a Supreme Court justice, a Yale law degree, a Supreme Court clerkship under Kennedy, more than a decade on the circuit court, and he is well regarded in academic and political circles. And finally, think progress. If confirmed to the Supreme Court, Kavanaugh is likely to vote with the court's conservative bloc in nearly all cases, but he may hand conservatives incremental victories at times when they seek transformative change. The open question is whether Kavanaugh sought out incremental solutions because that is his natural preference, or because he was trying to appear relatively moderate in anticipation of a Supreme Court nomination.
Interesting. So one of the nice little tidbits of his past is that his first job out of law school was working for Sonia Sotomayor. He was a clerk for her. And so she's, of course, one of the very liberal justices
Indeed.
who's now on the Supreme Court. And so, you know, he made a comment, I think, in his speech about, you know, how he had her support. And so I think that's, and thanking her for giving him his start.
Here's the thing. Kennedy was nominated by Reagan. And so, he thought that he was getting conservative justice, and he didn't. He didn't get a conservative justice. Justice Roberts has made decisions, is most notably, for me, the one that I remember the most is the Affordable Care Act, calling what President Obama, calling that a fee rather than a tax, or a tax rather than a fee.
Yes.
Giving, solidifying the legality of the Affordable Care Act. And that was not, according to some conservatives, that was not a conservative position.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Supreme Court justices. They don't always behave the way you think they're going to on every case. And you always get these kind of weird decisions. You think, oh, this guy's just a straight conservative or straight liberal, and they're going to go a certain way. And it doesn't always work out that way.
It doesn't.
So whenever I hear the doom and gloom and all this stuff and how horrible it's going to be, I don't buy it. Because, remember, it was a conservative court, the Roberts Court, that solidified Obamacare. It was a conservative court that gave us gay marriage, right? I mean, so, this is not the end of the world. I mean, I know the Democrats want to pull their hair out and act like, oh, my God, the world's coming to an end because Trump gets to appoint another Supreme Court judge. But that's just not the way it turns out. It really isn't. You have to look at the history of this stuff. It's, it's not that clean. It's not that clear. These guys don't just vote a party line every time.
No, and I, of course, everybody's looking ahead to Roe v. Wade, and they're assuming that he's going to vote, to rule in a particular way. But it really, given what the court has been doing just in this last session, they're going to look very closely at whatever comes to them. So whatever case makes it to them and they decide to take, they're going to answer the question that's asked. That seems to be the trend on the court right now. They're only answering the question that was asked, as opposed to making sweeping changes, using whatever question that was asked to make sweeping changes. So it'll be interesting to watch. This will be a knockdown, drag out. I'm still convinced that the whole Anita Hill thing was made up. I don't believe any of that happened. I think that they got this woman to say all of these things, and maybe Clarence Thomas flirted with her, but the whole pubic hair on a can, no man would think that was okay behavior.
And, here's the fascinating thing. The Democrats really can't stop Trump from nominating and getting somebody confirmed. But they do have a strategy, I think. And their strategy is to wait until after we get new senators elected and sworn in. So if there's a way to stall this nomination, they will. And whatever scandals they're going to pull out of the hat, whatever attacks they're going to use, they're going to do them in a way that's designed to stall and derail. They're not going to pull them out today and tomorrow. We're not going to hear them immediately. They're going to do it at the last moment in a way to make sure that if they can derail this one, that they have to start the whole process over again to stretch it out longer. Because their hope is, and I think it's a slim hope, is that they will win enough Senate seats in November so that when those new senators are seated, that they're the ones who get to hear it, and they can then really block and cause Trump to choose somebody that they like. I don't see that happening, but that's their only strategy, and it's a really slim, chance for them.
Stranger things have happened. So with that, it's time for a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we will be right back.
In the Inland Empire, you know how much it means to have neighbors you can count on. Like the one who mowed your lawn and trimmed that week you were sick. Well, here's another good neighbor you can count on. State Farm agent Joe Amlani and his team. They're here to help life go right when you combine your home and auto insurance, which can save you money and time. So combine home and auto and start savings today rolling. Call State Farm agent Joe Amlani, 909-894-4619 today.
Are you having trouble sleeping? Are you always tired and worn out? Is it affecting your work and personal life? Well, South Pacific Sleep Lab can help you out. South Pacific Sleep Lab provides a personal study of your sleep patterns. With their trained specialists, they will diagnose your sleep habits and will give you a prognosis for getting a great relaxing night of sleep. South Pacific Sleep Lab has locations throughout Southern California, including Fontana, and will provide transportation to any of their locations at no cost to you. To find out more, give them a call at 844-SAD-5050. That's 844-SAD-5050. South Pacific Sleep Lab. Start resting easy and sleeping sound today.
Optimize your digestive health with the broad spectrum of vegetarian enzymes in Quantum Nutrition Lab's Quantum Digest and Quantum Zymes. Buy 2, get the third one free. Call 888-588-7578 or visit us online at qnlabs.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. Tune in and hear the latest breakthrough information for you and your family.
Hey Ryan, do we have any beer in the fridge?
Nah, I thought you got some.
The game starts in 5 minutes.
And you drank the last beer at midnight on Friday.
I wish there was a place that delivered beer.
Yes, I'm Captain Crafted. I'm here to bring you beer. That's Captain, C-R-A-F-T''D. Why? Because there's no E, just a D, as in deliver, because Captain Crafted delivers.
That's right, the Crafted Beer Store in Redlands is now open for business with great prices and deliveries of your favorite beer, wine, spirits, water, ice, and mixers. Did I mention their great prices? That's CRAFTDBEER store.com or Fred Crafted Beer Store on Facebook.com. Make it easy. Google Redlands Beer Delivery. Look for Crafted Beer.
Crafted Beer Store in Redlands is now open for business, and I'm here to deliver.
For several years, KCAA has been marketing the Youngevity brand of nutritional and personal care products. Our experience with Youngevity has been 100% positive, so we are pleased to recommend them to you. Regarding nutritional supplements, we recommend Pollen Burst in the berry flavor and Tangy Tangerine 2.0 in the tablet form. For regularity issues, we recommend 3-Day Cleanse, and for personal care, we recommend Morning Hydration Cream. You can shop online for Youngevity at www.kcaateam.com, or you can order by phone by calling 800-982-3197 and tell customer support that you are part of the KCAA team. Youngevity is an American company based in San Diego. Call Youngevity at 800-982-3197 and ask about monthly auto ship that allows you to buy Youngevity products at wholesale prices. That number again, 800-982-3197.
The Inland Empire's radio home for the Dave Ramsey Show.
If you want to mess around with the Bitcoin thing and you're in that world a little bit, that's fine. But don't put your freaking life savings in it, doofus.
KCAAradio.com.
This is KCAA.
I love the colorful clothes she wears and the way the sunlight plays upon her hair. I hear the sound of a gentle word on the wind that lifts her perfume through the air. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. And there is a tragic story out of New Jersey that we just have to talk about. There's been a heat wave that's been global, essentially all over, at least the Western Hemisphere, and we've seen there've been deaths in Toronto or Montreal, in Canada. There have been just heat waves everywhere, and the power was shut off at a New Jersey home where a grandmother was living, who required electricity to power her oxygen pump. She died.
Wow.
And it begs the question of, because you can't shut off the power to a hospital.
Yeah.
What about a person who's dependent upon machines for life support? And essentially, that's exactly what this woman faced.
There's some twist to this story, Aaron, and I think once you get behind the facts, you realize that what happened here was really, really bad. The woman's name is Linda Daniels, and she was 68 years old. And her family acknowledged that she was behind on her payments to the PSE&G power company. But her son went in and he showed bank records to a CNN affiliate, New Jersey 12, that he had bank records showing that he had paid the electric company $500 just 2 days before the power was shut off last Thursday.
So presumably her balance was a lot more than that, but a
yeah.
$500 payment is substantial.
Yeah, you'd think that would buy her some time, and I'm certain that he probably explained to them the situation. So the temperatures on the day that she died were as high as 91 degrees.
Now, because Californians are going, psh, so what?
Yeah.
But 91 degrees when it's really humid outside is pretty hot. That's really warm.
Yeah.
So the family says we were getting ice and putting ice on her, fanning her, trying to make it cool, but we couldn't pump the oxygen. News 12 New Jersey reported that Daniels had been in hospice care since mid-April with congestive heart failure. Her cause of death was not immediately available from the medical examiner's office. Newark police say the case remains under investigation.
And New Jersey law prohibits utility companies from terminating services to households with a valid medical emergency.
And requiring constant oxygen would definitely fall into that category.
Yeah, right.
So PSE&G said in a statement to CNN that they were saddened to hear that Mrs. Daniels passed away, and they tried at least 15 times to contact the family about their bill over the past 7 months. They also say they were unaware of Daniels' medical condition. I don't believe that. If the son has the proof that he just gave them $500, to say, it does. The article does not say what her outstanding balance was, but clearly the family was making an effort to pay the bills.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll be interested to hear about their investigation. I hope that there's an outside one by a district attorney's office or somebody else, right?
They said they would never have disconnected the service had they been informed. And so, it comes down to, can the family prove that they had informed somebody? And that's difficult because the family doesn't have any control over what somebody may or may not type into a computer.
Yeah.
Right. And so the guy making the $500 payment, did he say that she was on oxygen? Yeah. And I'm going to say PG&E. That's not right. PSENG. They say that they sent out the notices, but they didn't. Maybe they didn't keep records like they should have about the times that the family contacted them. I don't know.
Now, her granddaughter basically said it was very difficult watching her grandmother suffer like that before her death. She says, I know she would have eventually passed away because of her condition, but I didn't know that because the lights went off, she would suffer the way she did. And her son, Sam, is very upset and angry, of course, and he says, I think my mom would have probably still been alive today if the electricity didn't get cut off. And then the final kicker, the power was restored on Friday.
Give me a break.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So, be careful out there, folks. And if you've got a medical emergency, please let people know. Let the power company know. Let let the proper authorities know. And maybe they should have called and taken her into the hospital. I don't know. I mean, obviously she's already at home on hospice, so the hospital's attitude is there's really not anything we can do. But, I mean, you got to get other agencies involved at a certain point.
Well, but then you also have, maybe the family didn't know. Maybe they were told by that this is her, where she's going now. I know that when my mom was sent home on hospice, that was done. Medical care was over.
Yeah,
that was it, and there was no calling back because they knew that this was, it was gonna wind down. Yeah. So, this is just, it shouldn't have happened.
It's a brutal story. This is really
hard.
It
is a brutal story. Yeah. The other thing is that if you communicate with any organization, you have to keep a record of that communication.
Yeah.
Because trust me, if there ever comes a question, they're going to protect themselves.
Yeah, right.
So make sure that if you say that, if you notify them, do it in an email where you can print it out and have a copy. Do it in a certified letter where you have return receipt. Do it, don't just tell someone because clearly it's going to become a he said, she said, and you don't have any control over what they put in their computers.
Yep.
So with that, it's time for a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we will be right back.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292 FQ Riverside, and K293 CF Moreno Valley.
NBC News Radio. I'm Lisa Carter. It's the rescue the whole world has been watching. All 12 boys and their coach have been rescued from that cave in Thailand.
The ordeal is over for all 12 boys. A really remarkable story.
NBC News correspondent Bill Neely. The 12 boys and their coach were trapped by rising waters after they entered the cave on June 23rd. Officials initially said the rescue could take months, but dropping oxygen levels and more heavy rains in the forecast forced them to act quickly. But again, all 12 boys and their coach have now been rescued from that cave in Thailand. Reaction to President Trump's Supreme Court nomination of federal appeals court judge Brett Kavanaugh is predictable and partisan. Republican House Speaker Paul Ryan saying Kavanaugh brings extensive experience to the Supreme Court. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer said Kavanaugh would rule against women's reproductive rights. Lisa Carter, NBC News Radio.
It's time for traffic on KCAA. I'm Erin Brinker. We only have one item to look out for at the moment. It's in the Cajon Pass on the 15 southbound after Oak Hill Road. A crash remains along the right shoulder, and slow traffic is backed up from the 395. This has been your traffic on KCAA. We are the stations that leave no listener behind.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Alvin Washington. Slight chance of storms, otherwise partly sunny and hot this morning, high 95. Partly cloudy and warm this evening, low 71. Partly sunny and hot, slight chance of storms, high 95 Wednesday. I'm Alvin Washington, broadcasting live from the Tri-City Center at the 10 and 210 freeways. We are the trifecta of talk in Southern California, KCAA. 102.3 FM Riverside, 106.5 FM Redlands, and The Legacy, 1050 AM, Loma Linda, San Bernardino.
Hi, everybody. Ray Lucia here with some important information about debt, your debt. Whether you have a first or second mortgage, you're looking to buy or refi a home or rental property, or just need to consolidate your credit cards to lower your payments and save some serious interest, you need to do some loan financial planning with Steve Alladort, my mortgage man, at loanfinancialplanner.com. Now, Steve's not your garden variety mortgage broker. He actually spends time evaluating how you can use the current super competitive interest rates to pay off your mortgage early, purchase a rental property, improve your cash flow, upgrade to your dream home, or even help your kids or grandkids get into a house. That's what loan financial planning is all about. Steve's been helping me and my listeners for over 2 decades, and I can tell you he is the best finance guy in the business. Go to loanfinancialplanner.com. That's loanfinancialplanner.com.
Or call Steve Alladort at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070.
Whether you swing a hickory shaft Massey Niblick or the latest titanium hybrid, golf is your game, and the Boy Scouts need you. To be specific, the California Inland Empire Council of the Boy Scouts of America need your help in joining them for their 10th annual Golf Classic at Los Sureños Golf Club in Chino Hills on Friday, August 10th. A continental breakfast and a lunch are included, and we tee off at 7:45 a.m. Proceeds will help to offer young people responsible fun and adventure. This segment of broadcasting brought to you by Tender Hearts TLC Incorporated. Tender Hearts, the helping hands for your loved ones, where they understand it can be difficult to find time in your already busy schedule to attend to all the needs of your aging loved one. Tender Hearts will be there for your loved one when you can't be. Tender Hearts TLC helps your aging loved ones stay in their home as they specialize in tender, loving, 24-hour service, including transportation to doctor's appointments, medication reminders, meal preparation, light housekeeping, and assistance with activities of daily living such as hygiene and grooming, orientation, and companionship. We thank Tender Hearts for their support of this station. Tender Hearts TLC, where they don't just care for your loved one, they give them tender, loving care. For more info, you can reach them at 909-528-9759. That's 909-528-9759 for Tender Hearts TLC.
KCAA, where every day is a great day.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. So excited to welcome back to the show Michelle Harris. There's something special about Alive and Well TV host Michelle Harris, and it's no wonder that she is one of the media's leading lifestyle ambassadors. Michelle's fans know she's the real deal. She follows a plant-based diet since age 14 and lives a healthy, active lifestyle she promotes on TV. Michelle is passionate about food, nutrition, beauty, wellness, and style. She believes in doing good while living well. She loves sharing her lifestyle tips and discoveries with viewers and listeners here on this show. Michelle will definitely show you how to get the most out of life and how to be alive and well. Michelle Harris, welcome back.
Thank you. Good morning. It's great to be back.
So part of living well is taking care of the world we live in.
Yes, and I know we've said it many times on your show that everything is connected. And one of the things, especially here in California, we're very connected to is the water, the ocean specifically. And there's a lot of things that are going on right now to help clean up our oceans because it's so important that we keep our oceans clean. Here, obviously, it plays into tourism tremendously, but also in terms of marine mammals, birds, the health of our oceans is just degrading at a rapid rate. We have those huge trash islands all across the ocean.
Which is
right?
crazy.
I know, and 80% of that, guess what? That's caused by us on the land. And then 20% comes from things like fishing nets and fishing lines and things like that, and garbage from people who are boating, who are just not properly disposing of everything. But that starts here, so we really want to take care of our oceans. When they find, unfortunately, dead marine mammals, they're seeing that their stomachs are filled with plastic. Fish that people eat are filled with plastic. So
that's really gross.
No, it's true, unfortunately. And we need our oceans to be healthy for our own survival. So it's very important that we start, really taking care of the land and the oceans because, like I said, 80% of this is caused by us. What happens is, as you know, after a rainstorm, everything goes out to sea, and that's things from way inland just as well. And that's why, let's say you're a beachgoer or a surfer, you can't go in the water for a couple of days after there's been a big rain because of the high bacteria levels. To me, that's not acceptable.
No, it's not. And you're starting to see, the state of California banned the single-use plastic bags, and now there's a movement to try to get rid of straws. And Starbucks has said that they are phasing out single-use straws, the plastic ones, because they're filling up our oceans. And I think everybody has seen the YouTube video of somebody trying to pull a plastic straw out of a turtle's nose that's been wedged in there, and it affects our sea mammals, our sea animals, our wildlife.
Yes, yeah, and it does. And what affects the ocean affects our health because we are dependent on the ocean for survival. So we can't forget that. But also, even I hate to say it, a lot of that trash ends up on the beaches. When I've been on shoots on the beach, I can't tell you the things I've found in the sand. It's scary. So we have to be mindful that when you're, let's say, doing something, you think it's okay, you're washing your car, and, you're letting everything run into a storm drain. You can't do that because all those toxic chemicals, guess where they're going? Right out to the water.
So what do we do? I think about the Santa Ana River, which runs through much of Southern California. It starts out in the mountains and runs through the Inland Empire into to Orange County and out to the ocean. And then the LA River does the same thing in LA. And there are people who live, there's homeless people who live in the riverbeds. There are people who just throw their garbage in the riverbeds, and that's a lot of that is coming from a lot of the bacteria, et cetera, is coming from those riverbeds. What can we do as communities to clean those up?
Well, the first thing we have to do is that, like I was saying, not stop dumping in the storm drains, stop dumping on land anything. You have to properly dispose of, whatever you have. If you're picnicking, I hate to say it, I still see people throwing things out of their cars. And you can't do that. There is so much litter on the land here that gets into it goes into the riverbeds, like you were saying, and then it heads out to sea. And that's why, excuse me, you not only see bacteria after the rainstorm, you will see the plastic bags, which is why they ban them. Any type of plastic packaging, really reusable razors. You don't want to use anything that's plastic that you have to throw away, because it can eventually, even, I hate to say it, even some things from landfills can end up out there. Of course, if you, put it in a landfill, it's a lot safer, but we just want to cut down on the amount of garbage that we have. That way it doesn't pollute the land and it doesn't pollute the sea. So what Starbucks doing is great, but it's really, a great first step because they're a huge chain. And by the way, for anyone who needs their straw, you can buy metal reusable straws that you can wash right in the dishwasher, so they're nice and sanitary. So you can bring your own straw. A lot of people bring their own coffee cups.
Which saves you money, too.
It does save you money, and it's great because, I think they actually keep the temperature better, the reusable coffee cups. And I run around town, always in my bag is a reusable water bottle. And that way I'm staying hydrated, but at the same time I'm using less bottled water. And water bottles are another big impactor on the health of our overall environment, but particularly the oceans. And I'm sure you've seen on TV, they've actually come up with a couple of different things. They're trying to get rid of those garbage patches, which is amazing, but it really starts with us. So we want to, kick the disposable habit, whether it's straws or cups or bags. I kind of consider my shopping bags like almost a status symbol or accessory because I have really cute ones. So now they're part of my ensemble. It's like, oh, this one's bright blue and has the, this pretty design on it or whatnot. So it's kind of like, okay, it's another thing like you bag or carry is the bags you shop with. And also one of the nice things you can do if you happen to be a boater is make sure that you hold all of your trash on the boat and dispose of it properly when you get on land, because some of it is coming from that. The fishing nets, obviously we have to make sure people they really shouldn't be using fishing nets, and they're not allowed by law to use them in a lot of places, because what happens is that marine life gets caught in there, the debris gets caught in there, and when you see those big trash islands, you see a lot of those nets and fishing lines kind of binding some of that up. And also, as that plastic degrades, that's how it's getting into the actual fish, because they eat it when it gets into really, really small pieces. It looks like food, because it's teeny tiny little plastic pieces, and they eat it. So, I mean, also, if you're visiting the beach, it's really warm right now, which kind of made me think of this. When you're visiting the beach, they have plenty of places where you can put your trash, because that's really easy. It's right there. So that can very quickly get out into the ocean.
I don't... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I don't understand. If you pack it out, you can pack it in. I mean, if you're...
Exactly.
It's actually smaller once it's empty. If you have a bag of chips, just bring an extra bag with you to put your trash in. There are trash cans on the beach. You can carry it all the way over to the trash can on the beach and throw it away before you get back in your car. I see this. I'm a mountain girl, and it drives me crazy when I go up on a trail and I see people have just left garbage around. It's like, you brought the bag of Doritos in, you couldn't carry it out.
We live in such an amazingly beautiful place. If for nothing else, you want to look around and keep it that way.
Indeed. Have some respect.
I'm like, who's throwing their trash out of their car? This is bad. This is, it's a big blight on us. But guess what? If it's on the ground, that plastic eventually, if it doesn't get cleaned up, is going to start doing the same thing on land. Like, it'll eventually start to degrade after a long, long time, besides being an eyesore. And think about all the chemicals that are in plastic. We want that properly disposed of.
Absolutely.
We don't want to, have that get into our drinking water and that type of thing. So it's very important that you use reusable bags, like you were saying, that we do the reusable straws. We cut down on any plastic use. And even when you're in the grocery store, be mindful of that. Like I use those little produce bags that you can get that are reusable, because so many of those little plastic bags, which can be recycled, by the way, if you are using those bags, you can put them separately in your recycling in another bag, or depending on the community you live in, they have different ways that you can recycle those little teeny produce bags. But you can also buy, ones that have these great air holes and actually keep your produce fresher longer.
Yeah, so mesh bags.
Yes, they're wonderful, and they're very, very thin, so they don't add weight or anything like that. But we want to try and do things that we're not using tons and tons of plastic, because it's amazing to me. You buy one little item, and then like everything else is just plastic or cardboard waste. It's like this huge thing for a tiny item. So especially if you're someone who orders a lot online, I think that's another big area where our waste is coming from. I mean, it's such a great time savings, and I love ordering online, but I always make sure that I break down the boxes so they can be recycled. That's
Absolutely.
very, very important. So it starts with us, is that we can't be dumping things. We have to try and cut down our own personal uses, whether it's razor blades or straws or plastic, using a reusable water bottle. Just kind of think, like, what can I do to reuse? And another thing that you can do is, it's pretty fun, actually, is to do something with a group like Heal the Bay. And they do a beach cleanup. And so you can go, they do it once a month, and you can go to healthebay.org. And you just go with a group of people, and it's a great way to spend an afternoon on a Saturday just cleaning up the beach, and it's really fun. And who doesn't want to spend a day at the beach? And you're giving back and getting rid of some of that stuff that's really a blight on our beaches and to our ocean.
What a great way to do a service project for a service club or for a business who wants to give back. You'd spend an afternoon, make the place restore the beauty to our beaches. I think it's a wonderful idea.
Exactly. And you meet a lot of great people. I think that's always the most fun, because when you're doing something like that, you're meeting people who want to give back. And usually there's just these super people that you want to get to know. So it's really fun at the same time. And I love being out there on the beach. So just wear plenty of sunblock, especially now.
Exactly. Well, Michelle Harris, it's always a treat to have you on the show. How can people watch Alive and Well?
Go to our website, aliveandwell.tv, or just check your local listings. And locally inland, we're on KVVB.
Wonderful. Well, as always, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to our next conversation.
Thanks, Erin. Talk soon.
Talk soon. All right, it's time for a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we will be right back. Are you or a loved one suffering from an addiction? If so, help is available. Many people are getting help from a recovery center called Sheer Recovery. You can call Sheer Recovery now at 888-SHEER-51. That's 888-743-3751. If you have insurance, your treatment may be covered at little to no cost. Most importantly, you can't lose your job because you decide to get help. Sheer Recovery is staffed with professionals who understand addictions and how to treat addictions. They understand what an addicted person goes through every day. So if you or a loved one are suffering from an addiction, it's time to call Sheer Recovery at 888-SHEER-51. That's 888-743-3751. A better life begins with Sheer Recovery. Call 888-743-3751 or go online at www.sheerrecovery.com.
If you're looking for a full or part-time sales position and you have radio, TV, or print media experience, KCAA has a great opportunity waiting for you that pays the highest commissions in the market. KCAA is the only station in the IE that broadcasts on 3 frequencies, so advertisers receive 3 ads for 1 low rate. This makes KCAA a must-buy for every local business. If you're interested in a sales position with us, email CEO@kcaaradio.com.
Success Partner presents the all-new Yucaipa and Calamasa Morning Market, located on the corner of County Line Road and California Street in the city of Yucaipa. This all-new neighborhood farmers market is open from 8 a.m. to noon on most Saturdays and carries some of the freshest produce in the Inland Empire. The Yucaipa and Calamasa Morning Market now open on most Saturdays at 13669 California Street in Yucaipa. 13669 California Street in Yucaipa. More information at 909-222-9293. That number again is 909-222-9293 or email successpartner@live.com. The all-new Yucaipa and Calamasa Morning Market, now open on most Saturdays in Yucaipa. Presented by Success Partner.
Hey Ryan, do we have any beer in the fridge?
Nah, I thought you got some.
The game starts in 5 minutes.
And you drank the last beer at midnight on Friday.
I wish there was a place that delivered beer.
Yes, I'm Captain Crafted. I'm here to bring you beer. That's Captain, C-R-A-F-T''D. Why? Because there's no E, just a D, as in deliver, because Captain Crafted delivers.
That's right. The Crafted Beer Store in Redlands is now open for business with great prices and deliveries of your favorite beer, wine, spirits, water, ice, and mixers. Did I mention their great prices? That's CRAFTDBEER store.com or Fred Crafted Beer Store on Facebook.com. Make it easy. Google Redlands Beer Delivery. Look for Crafted Beer.
Crafted Beer Store in Redlands is now open for business, and I'm here to deliver.
The Tri-City Shopping Center in Redlands is serving up some really cool ice cream at La Micho Acana. Then get your chocolates and other delights from C's Candies. Moms and future moms who visit the mall can cool off and relax while they get treated like royalty at Shiny Nails or Francis Nails and then pampered at Texture Hair. The Tri-City Center is filled with retailers who care about you. Shop at the Tri-City Center in Redlands and see why they call it the Mall with a Heart.
Broadcasting more local radio programs than any other station in California. We are KCAA.
Loving you isn't the right thing to do. How can I ever change things that I feel? If I could, maybe I'd give you my word. How can I, when you won't take it from me? You can go your own way. Go your own way. You can call it.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. So I want to quickly give a warning. People are getting sick from Del Monte vegetable trays. At least 212 people have been hit by a parasite from the Del Monte vegetable trays. And this is in 4 Midwest states. They've been sickened as of Monday. And it's found in the plastic vegetable trays sold under the Del Monte brand. An outbreak of cyclopsoriasis, an intestinal infection caused by the cyclospora parasite, was first tracked. I think I pronounced that correctly. It was first tracked by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in mid-June after 78 people were reported ill across the region. Del Monte, a Florida-based company, issued then a voluntary recall for the 6-ounce, 12-ounce, and 12-ounce trays containing carrots, broccoli, cauliflower, celery, and dill dip.
I take issue with this story because, first off, vegetables are not parasites, Aaron.
Okay, the parasites are on the vegetables.
I know, I'm just teasing you.
The states with reported victims are Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Michigan. And according to the CDC, 7 people have been hospitalized so far, and as many as 54 cases have been reported in Minnesota. The symptoms associated with this cyclosporiasis are watery diarrhea, loss of appetite, weight loss, cramping, bloating, increased gas, nausea, and fatigue. The recalled products have a best if enjoyed by date of June 17th. So the worst is probably behind us.
Yeah.
The infected trays were sold at Quick Trip, Quick Start, Demons, Century, Potash, Meehan's, Country Market, and Food Max, and Peapod. Now, none of those stores exist here in our neck of the woods, but people travel, and it's the travel season. So I thought it was important that we, talk about that.
Yeah, and, it's one of those things where I suspect that this kind of stuff happens way more often than we know, but unless you hit a critical mass of people who actually are going to the hospital and complaining of symptoms, nobody investigates, right?
Right, because most of the time if you think, I got food poisoning, you'd never think of the vegetables you just ate.
No.
And I'm sure that people are just, I got a stomach bug.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny as you were reading off the symptoms, I was thinking of those commercials that we sometimes see for newfangled medicines, and they list all the side effects. And you're like, those side effects are worse than what it's trying to cure you from.
There is an episode of Scrubs, and if you've never watched Scrubs, I highly, highly recommend watching it. It's streaming either on Netflix or Hulu, one of those. It's hilarious, and Heather Locklear plays this pharmaceutical rep. Of course, all the doctors want to get to know her because it's Heather Locklear, and she's pushing this product that they're tripping over themselves to prescribe, and it causes all kinds of unsavory side effects, including anal leakage. And it just makes me laugh.
Right.
Because that's how things really work. So another story. I'm going to say this real quick. California and 10 other states are launching a probe targeting fast food hiring practices. Apparently, 11 states' attorneys general are launching an investigation of contracts at fast food chains that prevent their workers from switching franchises, targeting a practice some economists say drags down wages for millions of Americans, essentially colluding. And what they have is this no poaching agreements that bar or restrict managers from hiring workers at another store in the same chain. So if you work at a Burger King, you can't switch then over to another franchise Burger King.
Now, what's fascinating about this, it appears to be that it's localized. So in other words, this is not something that is being done across the board at every store, but it appears to be something that's happening in some of them that have made these agreements. And what they're trying to do is show that there was actual collusion between the corporate entities as opposed to just the franchises.
Yep. So we'll talk about that more as more information rolls out. We're at the end of our show for today. Have a great day, everyone. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are On the Brink, the morning show on KCAA.
This is that ice cold.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and